I have chickens that I raise for eggs. I have a garden that I seem to expand a little every year. I have 30 plus fruit trees. I make my own compost. I do food preservation like canning, dehydrating, and fermenting. And I do it all on 2/3 of an acre.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Homestead Where You Are. Today I'm going to be taking a number 10 can of unsweetened applesauce and recanning it into smaller jars. Now I'm going to be taking mine and I put it in this little crock that I have. And I have some water heating up in this water bath pot. And when it gets a little warm, I'm going to go ahead and put this down inside the water to heat up the applesauce. Because this is it's a raw pack, but it's a hot pack method. So anyway, I'm going to heat that up. What you will need today is you will need a funnel to put your product in the jars. You will need some sort of debubbler. This is an actual debubbler, but you can use plastic or wood spoons, or some people use butter knife. It's not recommended because it can break the jar, but you know how that goes. And then you will need a jar lifter. You will also need your jars washed and dried and ready to go. Now I have mine in here heating up, so they'll be ready when this is ready. And I believe that's, of course you're going to need your water bath pot, but that's it, and this is about as simple as it gets. So anyway, as soon as this warms up a little bit, I will put this inside the pot and we will start from there. Okay, I have set my crock down inside the water. As you can see, I have my rack down in the bottom just to make sure I don't want anything to scorch. The water just comes up to just below the top of the crock, and I will continuously stir it until the applesauce is nice and hot. Okay, so my applesauce is hot now. Pull this out. My jars are heated up. The other thing I'm going to do is I put my lids and my rings inside this, and I'm going to take some of this hot water, put in here, and I know they say that you don't have to do that anymore with the new lids, but I'm kind of old school, I guess, a little bit. But I do that to soften them a little, but also, you know, make sure they're nice and sterilized. So, anyway, now we're going to get some of our jars. I think I have two, I think it's just two of the store-bought jars that I'll be reusing. I know this isn't going to make a lot of jars, but start there. Go ahead and make sure this is stirred up good. you saw me get this other funnel. I have 3 different canning funnels, and the opening on them is just a little bit different on each one. And the store-bought jars are, depending on the size of them, sometimes my funnel doesn't fit in there. But anyway, I'm filling these. You only need about a 1/2 inch head space. And like most people, I prefer to use wide mouth jars for just about everything. But applesauce is one of those products that's thin enough. You really don't have to do that. And most of my canning jars came from Goodwill stores or garage sales or swap meets or that type of thing, so can't be too choosy. So I'm using my regular mouth mostly for the applesauce. Alright, so I have some hot water in here. Some people use vinegar. This is not really very fatty, so I'm just using water. I'm going to wipe the rims just to make sure there's no food on them. No particles, no dust. Anything that might make the seals, the lids not seal good. Alright, now on the regular canning jars, you just want finger tight. Just enough so that the lid won't come off, the ring won't come off, but not so much that the oxygen or the air can't escape through here. And I forgot one step. Not so much a big deal with the applesauce, again, because of the texture of it, but you want to make sure that there's no air bubbles. Now I'm going to drop these back down in my water bath. A little bit of extra space, so I'm going to take an empty jar and I'm going to slide it down inside there and I'll fill it with water. So I'll take some hot water out of here. Just to take up space so those don't fall over. Might need one more. You guys did not see off camera, but I used some of the hot water that was in here for something else. I have a couple of different projects going on, so I still have the hot water in here that I was using to heat my jars, so I'm going to use it to dump in here and cover the jars to at least 1 inch, preferably 2, above the top of the jars. As soon as that starts bubbling around a little bit, I will start my timer. For pint-sized jars, now you guys have to remember, you can't really find any USDA approved method for re-canning number 10 cans. So what I do is, like in the case of applesauce, take a recipe where you make it yourself, and when you get to the steps where this is your final product, from then on it's the same. What's in this can is actually the exact same thing that you would have if you had made the applesauce yourself. So when you're making applesauce, you water bath can pints for 15 minutes, and I don't have any jars that are bigger than a pint. So once this gets to a little bit of a bubble, then I'm going to start my timer for 15 minutes. And while that's going on, we will talk about cost. Alright, so this is 106 ounces. So we paid $1.99 for this can. I went on to Walmart's site, and for their generic Great Value brand applesauce, a 46 ounce can is $2.38. For the same 46 ounces, this comes out to be 84 cents. So that's why I do it. Definitely worth the money. Alright, I'm going to set my timer now for 15 minutes, and I'll see you back here when the time is up. Okay, it's been 15 minutes. So just turn the burner off. Go ahead and pull the lid off. And then I'm going to let that sit for about 5 minutes before I pull them out of the canner. Alright, we let these sit for about 5 minutes. Now I'm going to take them out of the canner. Alright, there you have it. Easy peasy. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.5-ish pints of applesauce for $1.99. So if you like what you see and you want to see more videos like this, please subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified of any new videos coming out. And I hope to see you guys on the next one. Thank you.